Vamos a ver. ¿Cómo no? En ocasiones sí, en ocasiones no. No entiendo el... Pero... De acuerdo. Vamos a... Este está abierto, el otro también. Este está... Hay un PVA raro, no sé por qué, pero no es cosa mía. aquí teníamos este arma. ¿Qué onda son? No me empieces a parpadear. Espera, no. El HDMI, el parpadeante.
Concentrate. We almost have it.
Well now, that must be the 5th time I heard him say that. This ritual is taking too goddamn long. Oh, shit, we're going to hollers.
Okay. Sin señal, ¿verdad? No podía ser de otra forma.
I shall not let thy weakness be our downfall.
No, pelear con Tacho. No, en serio. Si te pareces un padete que has tirado. Qué horror.
What just... Did I... How did I do that? Hey, Captain! I think it's time we talked about a promotion.
We don't have time for this, Vulcan. We need to move out before the rest of them get here.
The passes are probably crawling with them already.
There's a passage to the other side of the mountain. It will lead us to the swamp.
The swamp? That sounds fun. Hey, did anybody see what I just did to that huge fucking monster? I mean, seriously, I fried that thing. I saved our asses and you're all just, hey, what's for lunch?
I said shut it, Vulcan.
Te has asustado. Aquí vienen los trabajadores del libre. Este es el encargado. ¡Mira la mascarilla! Y ese otro es el... ¡Señor, se ha olvidado de pagar! ¡Qué bueno! Este me pasé hace años en el ordenador. Pero no lo subí. Transmití. Así que lo voy a transmitir.
Thou didst flee.
What the...
Thou didst hold the power to face the necromancers, yet thou didst flee.
I had no choice.
No choice. Hast thou even thought of choosing? Thou art fled like a thief, and hast left me, a shadow of myself, trapped here in this dark prison.
I did not create this situation. I am not even sure I understand what has happened.
The hour for questions is past. Thou must act. It is I who will suffer for thy cowardice. I who will pay for thine fault. I who will face extinction. And if I must die, if the flame is extinguished, our world will die as well.
I will not let the flame die. I am in a war against these necromancers, and at last, I have the power to fight them.
What dost thou hope to accomplish in this ridiculous human shell? As it is now, it is useless to us. The flame is not a toy for newborn infants. It exists to reign. Its power must not be stolen from thee. We must reconquer the world heart as swiftly as we may.
Hey, Vulcan, enough of your daydreaming. Move your ass, huh?
Buffalo?
Ya no necesitan antorchas. Me hace gracia. Me lo dices como si realmente les hubiera necesitado o pudiera usarlas desde algún principio.
Vulcan, you hear me? Pull your finger out.
Huh? Yeah, I hear you. My head feels like a bomb went off in it.
Well, shake it off. We're still not at the end of this stinking swamp, and I'm not gonna carry you all the way to the village.
By the way, how come Hawk isn't the one here with me? He's the lead scout. I always go with him.
Hawk is covering the back of the line, so this time, I'm the one who goes with you. You'll get over it.
Why do I get the feeling I'm under surveillance?
You think nobody noticed your little stunt at the temple? Damn right we're watching you. Now shut your trap and keep an eye on our perimeter, while I keep an eye on you.
And while the captain has a nice chat about me with the Red Scribes.
It'll be a lot easier to talk to those two-faced snakes without you hanging around. Don't worry about it. He'll tell you what you need to know. And if he doesn't tell you, then I will.
Thanks, Sarge.
Let's get moving before everybody catches up.
Muy lejos no vais a ir. Ahí hay un elfo.
You lot are about as discreet as a herd of hunchbacks.
Es verdad, tío. Renzo.
I thought that elves were supposed to have superior eyesight. Do we look like stiffs to you, dickhead?
Not yet. But with an arrow sticking out of your throat, I'm certain that even a chatterbox like you could do a passable impression.
And you'd be the next one down.
Possibly. Perhaps I should aim for the largest target first.
Not if you want to keep both your balls.
What have we here? Buffalo in person. Well, that's a good sign.
What's going on here? Who's the scrag with the pointy ears?
Thanks for noticing. I try to keep them sharp. I'm called Relmar, and I gather the red-faced fat belly with the filthy beard is none other than the famous Elric, leader of the Freeborn Blades.
They call me the captain.
All the Freeborn Blades call you Captain Elric. I have no doubt that they do. As for me, I've never had much interest in titles or in military protocol. I judge people by their deeds.
And what are you doing down in the swamps, besides threatening honest mercenaries?
Looking for you? Well, I began by searching for the Red Stripes. Prince Arendelle is wounded. We had to withdraw to Valvanor, where I learned that you were expected. I just wanted to make sure you found your way there.
This is not my first walk in the wilds, arsewipe. As you can see, I'm on the right path, and we've nearly reached our destination.
Captain, those creatures I told you about this morning are gathering nearby. They're probably getting ready to attack us.
Ah, well those are called chrysalids. They wait until they have gathered enough numbers, then they overwhelm you. And it would seem your little group is attracting a whole swarm to the village.
Well, we'll give them a welcome.
Actually, in spite of themselves, these creatures do an excellent job of keeping dead walker scouts away without raising any suspicions. If we allow them to gather here and then massacre them, I fear we'll be moving their territory a bit too close to Valvanor, which will lead to our being discovered sooner or later. I suggest we send 1 or 2 men back. This will keep them separated and occupied while the rest make it to the village. I'm ready to volunteer, if you fear I might try and slip away. I know the area well.
Sounds like a plan to me. Vulcan, you're on it.
I want to go too. The animals and plants in this swamp are extraordinary. And the venom of these chrysalids seems very interesting. I'd love to get a chance to observe them more closely.
Sybil, that is out of the question. Have you lost your mind? It's too dangerous.
Come on, let her off the leash. It'll be good for her. I promise I'll bring her back in one piece.
Vulcan, rule number 2.
We'll see you at the village.
Sybil,
See you later.
Piromancia. Sí, ¿verdad? 2 puntos. Piromancia. No me he cargado. Este es interesante. Navegar. Ese es interesante porque es interesante.
I have to make some notes.
Madre mía.
Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
We need to talk about your combat style.
What do you want me to do?
I know you want to help me, but you've got to stay alive to do that. Think of defending yourself a little more.
You're right. I will try to be more careful.
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
What do you want to know?
So, Aeolus is your father?
Yes. And yes, he is the leader of the Red Scribes.
How handy for you.
You are so predictable. Daddy's little girl can do whatever she wants, right? Don't fool yourself. I'm endlessly having to prove myself more than any other scribe. My father doesn't treat me better than the others, and I expect no less from him.
Well, at least that explains why you look like you just stepped out of a library. I guess he supports and encourages you?
Yes, of course. But I'm big enough to make my own choices. Knowledge fascinates me, and I suppose it would have been like that whoever father was.
Can you tell me more about your order?
Of course. The Red Scribes are an order of sages. Our quest is to find the answers to all the great mysteries of this world.
And so you know about magic?
We study magic from an essentially theoretical viewpoint, but we're not an order of magicians. Even though some of us practice healing magic, but we have nothing to do with the destructive power magic used by the Lords of the Frozen Shadows, and we know very little about that domain, unfortunately.
I see. But that doesn't mean you can't research it, huh?
Obviously, especially now. Any knowledge which would help us turn this war around would be helpful. But according to our archives, we were already studying magic more than 5 centuries ago.
Oh, really? What do you know about the Ice Lords?
As much as it is possible to know without having met them. In some ways, they're quite fascinating, even though the term might seem inappropriate.
do they come from?
Most people believe that the lords appeared recently, the beginning of the war. But I have found certain scrolls that lead me to believe they have been around more than 300 years. They are originally from a region far to the north of Vergil. For a long time, they remained there. The beginning of their conquest is quite recent. We all think that the war started 10 years ago, but in fact, it is much longer, maybe even the last century. It took them a long time to escape from their region of origin. The dwarf kingdoms were in their way, and they picked the fight.
You had me going there for a moment. I'm sorry, but dwarves? Save it for the kids.
But you're wrong. The dwarves did exist, but the Ice Lords exterminated them.
Right. And I bet they also massacred all those poor dragons and goblins?
You know that dragons and goblins don't exist. You're impossible.
Listen, do they have any weaknesses that we can exploit?
Not that I know of. All of the Ice Lords are powerful sorcerers. They are far more powerful than all the other magicians. They have an unlimited army. If they have a weakness, it's not that.
But in spite of all this, you think there is a weakness?
I do. We often imagine the Ice Lords as a vast megalithic power. But that's not true. In fact, they desperately hunger for power. Just because they pool their powers to create the Deadwalker army doesn't mean they like each other. Their balance of power is precarious. As soon as they are done with destroying Vergil, they'll probably start killing each other.
Sure, but that doesn't help us much if we have to wait until they're done.
Perhaps there is a way to stir up the tensions between them. Even if for the moment, I can't think how.
Perfect. So how do we kill him?
If I knew that, do you think I would keep it to myself? But I can tell you this, we do believe it's possible. We know that there are 7 lords. Black Storm, Lady Crystal, Marshal Winters, the White Lady, Lord Blackfrost, the Chiller, and the Ice Duchess.
Everybody knows that. We've had our asses kicked by them often enough.
For sure. But in the past, there were more of them. Some scrolls talk of 9 or a dozen, even of 30 lords. Of course it's confusing. And I doubt they would have freely given the information of how to kill one of them. But you can bet that some of them have died. We just have to discover how.
Evidentemente.
Let's change the subject. Do you know what happened to me in the temple?
I'm still searching for an explanation. Something must have gone wrong during the ritual.
But what was the damn ritual supposed to do?
The Red Scribes have always had quite limited magical skills. I believe that the ritual was meant to increase their magical powers to try and find a way of combating the Ice Lords. But instead of channeling pure energy into each of the scribes, the ritual called forth a conscience that settled in you.
Your father called it a demon. How come I got stuck with it?
A demon? That reminds me of the old text, but I couldn't say if that's what it is. You were standing right there, so that force flowed into you. It could have been my father, or any of us, I guess.
Well, that's just great. Now what do I do?
I would dearly like to help you. But even though I have searched through all the texts I have here, I can find no reference to anything like this experience of yours, at least for now. But until we have found out more, you must try to fight against this thing. Do not allow it to get comfortable. We don't know what its intentions are or how powerful it is. It could be dangerous for you.
So then, any result from the study of all these creatures of the swamps?
I have discovered a few things about the small chrysalids. They are much faster, but it seems that they can only attack from close up, using their pincers. I also noticed that the medium-sized chrysalids were slower than small ones, but they, however, can fire tiny projectiles.
So then, any result?
Well, I'd really like to meet some of these creatures.
What can you tell me about the World Heart?
Many of the people on Vergil believe that the World Heart is just a myth. There are many different beliefs from one region to another, but most of them have more in common than not.
The World Heart is where life and prosperity are born. Yeah, I already heard that crap.
If we were to imagine Virtue as a living being, the world heart is exactly what it sounds like, the heart of the world. It's what keeps the world alive. It beats, and Virtue lives from its energy. If you wish, I can try to learn more about it. Come back and see me in a few days.
Aquí en este paseo. Vale, guardar porque no quiero hacerle ese interrogatorio otra vez. El interrogatorio es de un niño. Vale, no. ¿Qué es esto? Salida de hostias. Desarrollo y conseguir. No, sin duda. ¿Han dejado algún objeto más? Sí, eso lo hace bien. Una poción de maná. No he visto las trampas. ¿Qué trampas pequeñas? Para con los órdenes. Vale, cuestión. Puede estar muy interesante a la hora de comer. Pero es que no quiero quitar una ballesta. Digo, así los enemigos así directamente y los están. Vamos a mirar bien. Por aquí van a aparecer enemigos.
This swamp is teeming with life. I can't wait to discover all the species. There is so much to learn.
Sería que lo hubiera. O por forma con el no quería ver. Aquí, mapa. Vale, el caminito ese está cortado. Pantalón, sendero de abuelos. El cable negro está pantano, senderos. Vale, por aquí se pone
I thought that nature had taken over again here in the swamp, but I sense there is something else.
Pues desde el puente está roto, puedo tirar por la parte de arriba o por la parte de abajo. Y una azotadora así.
Really? He's normally not much of a talker. Did you torture him or something? No, I mean, it wasn't a big deal. I just think he has a lot of respect for you, that's all.
Por aquí puedo bajar, lo que no sé son también voy a subir el nivel. Piromancia. No tengo mucha sangre por aquí. Bueno, yo voy. Voy a coger con la coger. Bueno, yo por aquí. No me termino de fiar. Vale, y por aquí volvemos al punto este. Vale, en principio voy subiendo por aquí, voy para el otro lado. Pues realmente dentro del juego también hay cosas más grandes que me pinta de las cosas. Ahora la tía está muera a la mínima. Que no aguanta nada. Pero nada. Vale, por aquí puedo subir para tirar para ese camino. Bien. Voy a hacerlo de verdad de aquí. Que no sé si me dejarán. Tengo que decirlo. A ver tú, voy a intentar hacer el antiromancia.
Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
I'd like...
What do you want?
So then,
Well, I'd really like to meet...
Vale, aquí guardo. Ciertamente me faltaba esto. Tengo un punto. Eso ya cuesta interés. Bueno, el afortunado no. Cogeré este y ya está.
this is not the time for a walk. I should meet up with the others at Valvanor.
Ok. No me deja. Me lo imaginaba, pero bueno, siempre es bueno confirmarlo. sea, pues sí que había cosas que no entiendo. Aquí creo que no hay más. Unas oscuras. Actívamela, déjamela esas 24 horas del día. Activa.
Look, all of the prisoners Blake have a nickname. They leave the past behind, and whatever we were before doesn't matter
Trampas posibles. Sí, pero bueno, una trampa no es mucho.
This is not the time for a walk. I should meet up with the others at Valve anymore.
Ok. Ok, Macay.
I still haven't thanked you for everything you did at the temple.
Well, same here. I think. What did you just do to me anyway? Where does this power come from?
Vale, está haciendo lo mismo. Pesa menos. Y tiene menos capacidad de producción. Pues vamos.
Not before it goes bad for him.
Despite his determination, the knight was in an awkward position. He thanks the mercenary for having assisted him in his task. If he can trust the rumors that he hears around the village, he has before him one called Falcon. He has the pleasure of welcoming the mercenary to the village.
And you are...
The knight is called Randall, last survivor of the Order of the Amber Knights, now protector of Valville, this village. The new arrival is most welcome, but the steward is waiting in the old village inn.
Okay. Okay. Vale, de aquí... Fisgón. Poner cuántas veces completo de tres puntos, vale, todos son 2 puntos ahí. Comprador, mata que no con hechizo de fuego. Imagina hacer un cheque de fuego. Tengo que matar a un enemigo más. Con un martillo y una hacha.
Civil? Can I talk? So then,
The singles have a power that depends on their growth. The biggest ones are the most dangerous. Up close, their attacks can be frenetic and extremely...
so then,
Well, I...
Entonces, he matado ya bastantes enemigos con... Vale, pero voy a ponerme esto. Que aunque tenga uno menos de daño, pues... Sí, me interesa. ¿Tú me hablas? No, no me hablas. Pues vamos al pueblo. Val Benevol, la suerte principal de los hijos están a los esclavos. Los espadas libres no pueden hacerse. De nuevo en marcha hasta que el soberano vuelva a estar en pie. Oh, bajo tierra. Es la otra opción.
This is Valvanor. It is not a beautiful place, but for the time being, it seems to be unknown to the Deadwalker army. This village has known better days. Before the war, it was popular among the rich hunters who came to enjoy the apple game in the swamps. Today, the only visitors are refugees who are sadly too numerous for the scant resources of the village. A small healing house provides comfort and succor to the injured. The knight is quite fond of Iran, the healer who runs the place. Does the mercenary see the building opposite? It was once an inn, but it is now the residence of the steward, the man now in charge of the village.
This is a very large inn, considering the size of the village. There must have been many visitors before the war.
With any luck, we might get to sleep in a real bed tonight. How can you talk that way? Always in the third person.
The way people speak is different from one place to another, and I am from another place. The knight's people are a warrior tribe from Algendar, and he is proud of them.
What can you tell me about this backwater town?
This village is a modest one, and its reserves are almost gone. Its only strength is its isolation in these swamps. That is also its greatest weakness.
I already figured it was some kind of shithole.
That the refugees and the villagers must live together is difficult, and the situation is worsened by there not being enough food. The swamp offers protection against the deadwalkers, but it also harbors many dangers. Its creatures often attack the village. When the knight and the elf are not there to defend the walls, the watch often leave them unguarded, shitless.
What does the steward want with me?
The captain has offered the services of the freeborn blades to the steward. The steward must have orders for the mercenary.
Shit. I'm gonna get stuck being this guy's errand girl. Fuck. I knew I should have come with the rest of the company. Where can I find the steward?
As the knight said, the steward is in the old inn, the big building in the middle of the village.
I'm going. Sybil, can I talk?
Yes?
I'd like to...
What do you want to know?
Vale, esto no me dice nada. Vale, vamos a ir por aquí. Sabía que había cosas. Porque podía verlas. Esa última música que funciona. Bueno, vale, menos ahora. Por cualquier forma. Voy... Aquí, ¿no?
A good day to you, soldier. I do believe that today is your lucky day.
Really? Well then, what are you gonna try to sell me?
Sell? Oh, now you're trying to make me feel bad. No, unfortunately I have nothing left to sell. Other than some first-hand information that will surely be of use to you.
Information? What information?
Hey, you know what? Some kind of reward would be appreciated. It's just a...
Here, take this. What do you got?
Apparently, the Red Scribes have found a way to win the war. They found someone capable of breathing fire, who's gonna burn up the Ice Lords just by looking at them.
I don't believe it. You took my money for that? You fucking with me?
I swear, it's true. Please, we're starving.
I'll let it slide this time. But don't you ever try to rip me off it. I wanted to ask you, have you ever met the steward?
He came to see the refugees several times, but I never spoke to him. I got the impression he could stand us. He's the boss and we're the little people, see?
The life of a refugee can't be easy.
I've been a refugee for years. 5 to be exact. All these years on the road. And believe me, it's never easy. But this village is a pretty good place. The healing house gives us food most of the time, and we're safe. That's not bad.
How are things going with the guards?
Oh, we don't see them too much around here. They're basically here to guard the village. They don't give a shit about the refugees, so they keep their distance. I hope for the steward's sake that he's not counting too much on them to keep him safe. I've seen lots of soldiers on the road, but as useless as them, never.
Right, I'm...
Interesante información. Los soldados de por aquí son ingleses. Dos soldados. Voy a mirar el derecho, ¿no?
Oh there, Powder Woman. You still didn't manage to blow yourself up?
Pretty quiet around here, huh?
Yeah, too quiet for my taste. Do you really imagine the Deadwalkers are going to forget about this place just because this swamp is dangerous?
No, but it'll slow them down. Maybe we'll see them coming.
Ha! You can bet your ass they're already here. There's something in the air that stinks. I don't mean the locals either. I feel like the Ice Lords are watching us. Right now.
Tiene poderes paranormales.
Pretty quiet around here.
Yeah. Do you
No.
There's...
I have a few questions. How are the blades holding up?
We left some blood on the stones in the temple, but most of the company got away all right. But if we don't get some new recruits soon, things are gonna get serious. The captain has sent some men ahead to corral us. I hope they manage to pick up a few recruits, and they're not too scabby.
Isn't there anybody in this village worth recruiting?
See for yourself. There isn't a single man amongst the guards or the refugees that knows which end of the sword you're supposed to hold. We'll just have to wait. And be careful.
So you made it out of the temple then?
I did. I suppose my time's not up yet. I guess that'll cause more gossip amongst the youngsters. The eternal survivor. My balls. There are some days when I wish it would be over.
Yeah, right. You're gonna outlive all of us. Do you think we can win against the Deadwalker army?
Against the Deadwalker army? No chance. Now the Ice Lords. That's another question.
What do you mean?
Only that sometimes you have to try to chop off the head, you know? That bunch of walking corpses wouldn't be any trouble at all if there was no one to guide them.
I guess you're right. But I don't think that makes the task any easier.
There was a time way back, you know, when there were so many of us in the company, several hundred, that the captain decided to delegate. So he chose 2 lieutenants. Those 2 assholes fought over how to share out the men for weeks. They both wanted to take the best men for the group. And the result? We had our asses handed to us by an army that was hardly more numerous than we were. I guess what I'm trying to say is that the Deadwalkers are just the same. You've got 7 bosses. Each one of them wants to control everything.
So, if we could pit them against each other.
Now you're thinking straight. I don't know how we could do it, but I'm sure that it's possible.
See you later.
Sí, ya te digo sí. Así es como funcionan esas cosas. Tengo que hablar con el soldado al campo. Como quiera que sea. Wey. No tan rápido que me tramo. Vale, el soldado al dumping estará ahí abajo. Aquí está. Hola, soldado dumping.
My respect, General, sir.
Do I look like a general?
I don't know, General, sir.
If I'm asking you that, it probably means that I'm not.
Well, it could be a test to see if I'm being a good soldier, General, sir.
Then you flunked the test. You're crap at recognizing rank.
They never taught me that, General, sir. Plus, I don't see so good, General, sir.
Isn't there a boss guard to help you with that?
Yes, General, sir. He posted me here and said to deal with it, General, sir.
This village is condemned, and without a doubt, it is better us.
Alright, we're not gonna waste all day on this. Stop calling me General, sir. My name's Vulcan.
Understood, General Vulcan.
Suggest you roll with it. Congratulations on your promotion, General.
Yeah, thanks. Whatever. Forget about it, soldier. I want you to give me some intel about the village. What do you think of the boss guard?
General, sir, Boss Guard Mason, he is a good boss. He is, competent and,
Be honest, soldier. One thing I hate is a liar.
except I don't want any trouble, General, sir.
You won't get any. I'm asking you this because I trust you. And nobody else will ever know.
Okay, General, sir. Because the thing is, well, Boss Guard Mason, I guess I don't think he is a very good boss, General, sir. He insults us all the time. Never shows us how to do nothing. He spends all his time drinking like a chamber pot instead of doing his patrols.
Drinking like a chamber pot?
Gods, I don't even want to know. Thanks for the information. It'll stay just between us. What do you think about the steward?
The steward? Well, I don't know much about him, General, sir. But before the war, when he took care of the hunting lodge, he used to come and buy vegetables from my grandparents. But they didn't like him much. He always spoke to them like he thought they was scum.
All these refugees. Are they causing any trouble?
Well, it's true there is a lot of them. So that means a lot more work for us. Sometimes one of them will try to sneak in and steal some food. But we don't let them do that. Then again, we can't get too mad at them either. It's all because of the war. Those people are just like us, more or less, except that they lost everything. And sometimes they help us too. A couple of them even joined the guard. The boss thought they were good enough. Plus, there's Raincoat. Well, he fixed up my granddad's spade. Real nice guy, that one.
I see. You stand in front of the swamps every day. You must know a lot about them, right?
Oh, not that much, General, sir. I never set foot out there. It's way too dangerous. Boss Mason posted me at this here gate, and that is just fine with me. There's lots of monsters out there. I can hear them, and That's enough for me. And even when there's no noise, you hear the whispering. Well, that's even worse.
The whispering?
Yes, sir. Sounds like my own mama's voice sometimes. Except that she's been dead for the past 5 years. Plus, I can't make out one word she's saying. And that don't make no sense. Mom and me always understood each other.
I see. Let's change the subject. See you later, Soul.
O sea que hay un monstruo que imita la voz del conocido. Asael, Mirana, Mason. El Mason era malo. Bueno. No, no quiero sustituir. No sé por qué me sacaste esto. No habéis visto nada, no habéis visto nada.
Here we go. Another one of these hick refugees. There's nothing for you here.
Call me a hick one more time, and I'll be using your face as an anvil.
Let's all remain calm, shall we? Please forgive my error. With all this commotion and all the thankless tasks I find myself confronted with, I often find my attention to detail slips. So, what can I do for you?
I need more info about
con armadura.
And you have decided that I have a sympathetic face. It's the story of my life. Talent worthy of a king's ransom, but surrounded by cretins who only seek that which is free.
What can you tell me about the steward?
Oh, don't expect me to say anything bad about Berthoff Chambriad. I'm not always in agreement with him, but I can see that he knows his business, and he keeps the village relatively safe.
What can you tell me about...
Oh, don't expect me...
Not very often you see an elf blending in with other cultures. Are there many of you here in Valinor?
To my knowledge, I was the only one. That is until Prince Arendelle and his acolyte arrived. Does that pose a problem for you?
Not at all.
Well, it does for me. His Majesty the Prince of Imbeciles is going to bring us nothing but trouble.
And the Red Scribes? Know anything about them?
Oh, certainly. A boring bunch of fusspots, spreading science and preaching the good word while never suspecting that anyone might see through their little game.
Our game? Well, pray tell, give us the details. Please, give us the benefit of your extensive knowledge.
I don't pretend to know about all their little plots. I spent very little time with them, and frankly, I couldn't possibly care less about them. But I am fully aware that pretty speeches serve no better purpose than manipulating minds. They're nothing more than noisy masks behind which hides a reality that is far out here. The more the melody is sweet, the better it distracts you. And is there anything more disgustingly melodious than the discourse of a red scribe?
When it comes to disgusting discourse, you seem to be something of an expert.
Let's talk about something else.
Que todavía se pelean, se pegan de hostias.
Show me what you have for sale.
Gold. So vulgar to work with. So wonderful to own.
Vale, sí. Dame esta. Esta y esta. Estas también. Por algo fuerza élfica. Es más chula. Más chula, ¿no? Ya habré llevado con ella. Y el modo no también. Meter el bruto. Eso es 0,4. A comprar todo el metalito que pueda. Se va. Y de fuego. Sí. Por supuesto. Esta parece clara. Esta otra no mejora. Acabáramos. Luego la de destino para reciclar, porque ya tengo la de dolor. Y de esa forma voy haciendo, quitando peso. Está mejor en todo, vale. Un momento, me gusta. Pesa menos también, aunque es un poco más. No, esta la deshago. opciones. Juego. Y ahora a tope. Controles. Pues sí que no lo arreglo porque no me interesa. Imaginando con 10 por segundo, 0,75, 25% de armadura, esfera de juego 30, resistencia de veneno a la interrupción, al día magia de fuego no.
So,
Show me what you
Así. La fecha de esta continuación.
My goodness, let's see. You're not missing blood, you're not vomiting your guts out. Both legs are in place and they seem to be holding you upright. Congratulations. It looks like you'll pull through. And now you'll excuse me, but I have other miracles to accomplish, and not much time to devote to people in your... Take it, you can be black. You again.
El Mason. Voy a guardar antes de hablar con este, porque por lo que me han contado de él, no estoy limpio.
Yeah, who are you? One of them fucking mercenaries, right?
Fucking mercenary, yeah. Sounds about right.
You know what I call your lot? Ore blades. I got no time for ores.
We're all in the same boat. Mercenaries, refugees, useless guards.
You mean until the Ice Lords make you a better offer, get lost, or
Stupid wreck.
you again? I thought I...
Aquí podemos matar gente. Porque se me antoja al Mason este. Por aquí van a entrar enemigos, como se le vea. Estos tres llevan para el ayuntamiento. Sí, que son tres entradas para el mundo de la mirar antes. Dos listas rápidas, supongo. No, esto va a ser. Muy bien, a ver qué se cuecen reservas. Silvan, Reina. Es que voy directo por aquí y voy para el alcalde. Pero luego voy a tirar por el juego. No tiene cuerpo, no, a ver. Ay, este es un campeón. Ya vas a ver qué pasa. ¿Cómo que? Ahora está la distinta magia y no lo vemos. Y está rodeado de un martillo. Antigua posada. Aquí también. Debe ser arriba.
Mercenary?
Can I do something for you?
No, thank you. I don't need anything for the moment.
I need your help. Tell me more about your order.
Before the war, our main objective in Creed was to collect and save all kinds of knowledge. We had a presence everywhere on the continent, and had chapters in every major city. We studied and preserved all possible sources of knowledge there. We also dispensed information and care. Because even though we're not the greatest magicians, our knowledge let us come to the aid of the wounded and the sick. I could of course relate our history in detail for hours and hours, but I doubt that is really what interests you.
With all the knowledge accumulated by your scribes, you must have learned a few things about the Ice Lords, right?
We do indeed know some of their secrets, and a good part of their history.
Anything we could use to fight them?
We thought we'd found a chink in their powers that our ritual was supposed to let us exploit. But you saw the result.
That's one way of putting it.
That said, I'm beginning to wonder if we haven't involuntarily brought about the conditions for their end.
I don't get you.
What you have within you could well turn out to be their doom. Even if I don't have the faintest idea of how or why. And unfortunately, as long as we don't know more about it, we also have to fear that it might lead to our doom, too.
I'll be going now.
It's frustrating. I feel completely useless here. It's frustrating.
Nada más. Entonces no más que decirme.
Greetings, mercenary. What can I do for you?
I have some questions. Do you have any idea about what's happening to me?
I'm afraid I may not be able to help you. Your condition is more due to magic than medicine. Your symptoms remind me of certain mental illnesses, where the subject has the impression he hears voices in his head.
And do these nutcases throw fire and have eyes burning from within too?
You'd be surprised at what they can do. But obviously you're not like them. That being the case, if you study them, you might find some answers. In particular, I'm thinking of the fact that most of these poor madmen end up giving free rein to the darkest side of their personalities. Make sure that doesn't happen to you.
¿Vamos a cenar o hamburguesas o otras? ¿Por ahí? Cierra aquí, por ahí. Esto te quita toda la ropa. Pues bueno, te voy a guardar.
Who's the big snoring elf?
Show some respect, please. That's Prince Arendelle.
And?
He's the son of the Elven King, leader of the last army standing against the Deadwalkers.
Yeah, okay. But he doesn't exactly look like he's ready to stand against anything right now. What's wrong with him? What's his problem?
From what I've been told, Relmar brought him here before we arrived. The prince and his men fell in an ambush. Without your friend, he wouldn't have made it out. Unfortunately, he was severely wounded and has probably been the victim of powerful magic. I'm trying to find a cure, but without much success for the moment.
Adiós. ¿Te ha gustado? ¿Has visto las penas? Toca ahora el es que quitarte la ropa ya. Te lo digo en serio, tienes que quitar la ropa ya para ducharte.
Can I have a look at your stock?
Yes?
I have a few questions. You seem different from the other elves.
Really? I seem different. And if you really want to know, I actually come from one of the most ancient and noble houses that exists. But I can assure you that I am sufficiently far down the line of succession to be in no danger of being crowned.
Hey, as far as bad reputations go.
Let's just say that I got into enough trouble to eventually be considered a dictator to my people. He thought this war a lot, but I thought differently. When my people discovered...
What a bunch of cowards. If they had listened to you, we wouldn't be in this mess.
I've been telling myself that for years. But I do understand their point. They've had some time to prepare their forces and to learn the strengths and weaknesses of this knowledge might help.
Do you know these swamps?
I've been in this area long enough to have explored a fair amount of it, actually. The region is rather inhospitable.
A good thing?
These...
That means...
Except the...
What do you mean?
Something is affecting the swamplands, corrupting the vegetation and the animals. But anything that grows or lives here could become a threat. So I strongly... We are born in the trees, eat only seeds, and we spend all the livelong days...
I get the feeling you're fucking with me.
Perish the thought. Well, it's just that we aren't that different from you humans. Just our civilization is obviously a bit older, so we have had the time to learn. We don't really live in the same rhythm as you do. We move a little slower, and most of us are prone to having at least some respect for the past. This is the reason why we never destroy anything, that we prefer to build on top of things.
So it's the
wood. Our king, Bertuccio.
¿Se está quitando la ropa?
You must, but we...
I've heard
that joke has lived for 15 generations. I will never get tired of it. No, we're not immortal. We live long lives. We are resistant to poisons, rotten food, and toxic body odor, apparently.
Let's change it. We need...
What would you like?
Think about...
That's not...
Relmar. You got a minute?
Yes.
I need your...
Of course I will.
Adai, quita la ropa.